Okay, I'm going to talk about Christianity, the birth of Christianity. Arabs had what? Zoroastrianism. The Persians had some sort of religion. There's the Hammurabi codes of really just tough laws. Christianity and Judaism came from here. This is before Islam, by the way, and so Christianity was spreading. Now, people say that Christianity spread violently. Well, think about it. The Byzantines, which were once reigning of this area, Eastern Roman Empire, and Rome, there was no Christian armies that took over Rome or the Byzantine Empire. The Christians just grew from the people, word of mouth. The secret code they used was what, that little fish. They used to draw the little fish in the dirt with their sandals to say that they were Christians, and they had to hide amongst the population. The Byzantine emperor converted through his family, so there was no army that came in and destroyed the Byzantine Empire to make it Christian. Same with Rome. Rome did not fall to Christian armies. It did fall to illegal aliens or illegal immigrants, although they were brought in, I guess, but they were never given citizenship. But there was no Christian army that took over all of the Roman Empire. It converted, willingly. Now, and same with this land. There were many Christians. Arabs were Christians. Now, they say Christianity spread violently through Europe. Well, think about it. The people, the villages, there was marauders, bandits. Everyone lived and died by the sword. I mean, villages were decimated. When a little Christian village, converted to Christianity, guess what's all around it? There was death cults and forest cults and all kinds of other religions. And tell me, was the Christians the only tension? Was there peace and prosperity amongst all the other, earth and God and forest and pagan and Celt, and were they all peaceful and loving and giving? No, they were all violent. They were all violent. Let me just give you an example of how Christianity worked. The Vikings. The Vikings came from this cold region. For 1,000 years, starting in 800 AD, they came and raped and pillaged the Christian monasteries and villages all along the coast. They attacked whenever and wherever they wanted. Well, for 1,000 years, from 800 to 1400 or whatever, the Vikings continually came in and out of these areas, and they continually attacked these cities up through the rivers. Every sort of 5 or 10 years, they would have a bigger army, because all of these cities would pay them off. At some point they said, oh, we don't want to fight you anymore, we'll just pay you off. Well, they'd come back with a bigger army, more ships, richer and richer, and the Viking religion was a death cult religion. It was a warrior, die by the sword religion. Very powerful, very vicious. They wanted to die by the sword, so they would go out and do their raiding. Well, the Vikings actually took over much of northern, or whatever, much of England, and they basically buttered their way into the Christian lands. Then what happened? Did the Vikings then become the reigning supreme religion of England? No. They settled down and realized if they were going to raise a family, if they were going to create a civilization, they converted to Christianity. Why? Because Christianity, and Judeo-Christianity, by the way, Christianity offered more. It offered life. It offered a family. It offered, a way to live peacefully. Now, does that peace suddenly bow down to other violence? No. At some point, these swordsmen and these fighters realize they have to fight for their liberty or their freedom or their religion, whatever it is, because we're... okay, let me give you an example. Imagine a room or a biosphere with a bunch of atheist scientists in it. How long is that going to last? Force them to live in one area, and atheists, and with their peaceful, loving way, and stuck in this one area, spaceship or one of those bio buildings. How long do you think they're going to last in there? Well, this whole land was swordsmen and raiders and the Huns and Vikings and Islam, is the slave armies of Islam coming up. What do you think Christians are going to do? They're not just going to sit down and go, oh, we're peaceful. No, they still are humans who want to survive and want their tradition to live, just like any others. But like the Vikings who took this over, they realized they converted to Christianity. They converted. Why did they convert? Not out of force. They were the ones with the swords. They converted because they saw a future in Christianity. They saw charity, humanity, even science. You know, Christianity, the Judeo-Christian, and Jews, by the way, I really respect the Jewish, the birth of it all. They look at there's one God or one creator, and he did some sort of big light, big bang thing at the beginning of the universe. Gee, no other religion ever says that. But there's one God, and so volcanoes and oceans and skies and mountains are not gods. They're not gods. And this earth is a garden for man. So, thusly, we realized as Christians, hey, let's start studying it. I mean, why not? The volcano is just a volcano. It's not a god. It's not going to get angry at me. So I can study it. So that was the birth of science, the birth of reason, the birth of a civilization that came out of this dark period. When the Roman Empire fell, when the Greek and Roman elitism and aristocracy, you know, couldn't manage itself, and the slaves and the, you know, which was a kitchen appliance, by the way, basically, you know, my generalization here, taking it down. Christianity brought in a civilization for all, and I see that today. I see this, and I see this. Very Christian as far as the upbringing, the golden rule: do unto others as they would have you do unto you, and the most successful of the world. I mean, think about it. Of all the places in the world that one would aspire to live in, raise their children in, it's the Christian ones. I'm a little tweaked out here about this because it's mostly Christian, but it's actually mostly Catholic. Now, I'm a sort of a raised Catholic, but I really love the Protestant and the opening up of Christianity. So it's happening now, actually. The Protestants are kind of coming in missionary work, but it didn't happen before. So I feel like, you know, the Catholicism of Christianity really kind of miffed it up a bit, and there's communism and all that stuff going on down here. So I'm really not clear on this personally, but I just feel this being the Protestant and Catholic mixture, which is in the Jewish mixture, is the best in the world. I mean, I don't want to live in Africa. I don't want to live in China. You know, these are all this is atheist, and I don't want to live in the Hindu religion. Although but you got to remember, Britain came in here and democratized it, so it's pretty cool. Australia's Christian, and you know, there's that.